Today, I want to talk about why you'll never be fearless. More important than that, though, I want to talk about how you can learn to be brave. So, this is a topic pretty close to me because I've not been known to be fearless, but there are people in my life, like my mother, the way she talks about my father and how he was always fearless, and I've never had that same trait. But I'm going to talk about why that is, how to fix it, and why that's okay. Number one, you can't be fearless because you're too smart. You understand the downsides. You understand what it is, what the cons are. You understand the risk. You understand more than you let on a lot. And that's why you have fear. And let me tell you, that's healthy. Fear keeps you alive. Fear keeps you healthy. Fear keeps you thriving. That's 100% okay. But one thing that's not okay is letting fear run and control your life. Next is you think too much. People who don't think at all aren't scared of much because you're not thinking of the downsides. You're not thinking of what could go wrong. You're not thinking of all the negative possibilities. You're only thinking of the possibilities that everything works out or everything goes the way you planned it. Rarely is that ever the case. It doesn't really happen like that. Fear is a natural part of life. Fear is a natural emotion, and embrace the emotion. You think too much. Thinking less won't solve your problems. Trust me, I've tried. Thinking less doesn't make you feel better. Thinking less does almost absolutely nothing for you. But the last reason is you'll never be fearless is because you understand failure. You failed before, you will fail again. You understand the feeling that is attributed to that. You know how it feels to lose and to never try again. And that hurts. You understand the embarrassment of failure. Now, I'm going to talk about how you can be brave. Because bravery and fearlessness are two very, very different emotions. And they should be treated very, very differently. How you can be brave is, I want to use an analogy of what bravery feels like, because I feel like it's an underrepresented emotion. People don't know what it feels like because no one talks about what bravery actually feels like. Bravery feels like walking into a dark room and someone tells you the direction to go, but in that room, you don't know if you're walking the right direction. That's what bravery feels like. Bravery feels like you're lost, like you're misled. And bravery is scary. Bravery is one of the scariest things you can do, especially as a young person. Because you understand that with bravery comes consequences sometimes. But you got to walk into that dark room and someone tells you, or you know where to go. You know the direction you're supposed to go in that dark room, but no one is telling you, oh, you're doing the right thing. You're going the right way. That's not what bravery is. That's not what bravery feels like. Bravery is walking into that dark room and just walking into the direction you know you're supposed to go. You know where you're supposed to be. That's what bravery is. That's what it feels like. And no one talks about that. Next, how to be more brave. Once you understand that pain is unavoidable, pain is a natural part of life, and no matter what you do, you will feel that pain, it's a lot more easy to make a choice to try and fail than it is to never try. What I mean by that is, let's say you want to start a business. This is the best analogy I can use because this is what I've done the most in my life, businesses. Let's say you want to start a business. When you start that business and you're scared because you might fail and it might be embarrassing in front of your friends and family, that's okay. You might fail. That's 100% fine. But let's say you let those feelings get to you and bottle up, and now it's been 3 years and you never tried. You never felt that fear. You never went through that hardship that you have to do, that rite of passage that comes in business, that most people need to experience to grow. Now you're sitting up in your room at night thinking, damn, I could have made a lot of money. I could have been like him. I could have been like him. I could have been like them right now. But I never took the chance. That mental anguish, that mental pain sticks with you forever. That mental pain doesn't go away. But you know what does go away? The pain of starting. When you start something and it's hard, you get through it. There's an end. That mental anguish knows no end. That mental anguish will never subside. That mental pain will never get any easier. That mental pain sticks with you your whole life. That pain lasts forever. Once you understand that distinction, pain becomes a lot more easy to tolerate. Because unless you want to be sitting in your bed at night, wishing, thinking, waiting, wondering, that's what's going to come if you never accept the chance that you might fail. You might lose. You will have a bad time. That will never be accepted by your brain, by your mind. Lastly, you have to learn the difference between losing and failure. What a failure is a person who loses and never tries again. That's a failure. Don't let that be you. Win. Try again. Do that. Take that risk. Once you understand the difference between losing and failure, losing is a lot easier to do. Because if you know you're going to try again, no matter what, then failure becomes impossible. Losing is inevitable. Failure becomes impossible. Once you learn that distinction, once you understand that if you lose and you know you're going to get back up, it's no longer a risk. It's no longer scary to think, oh man, this might not work out. That's fine. You didn't really expect it to work out every time anyway. That's okay. Lose. Lose again. Lose a third time. Losing the first time, trying the first time is the hardest because you're learning everything and you know what it feels like to fail. Trying the second time is a little bit easier, but you have a lot more confidence. When you fail that time, that's when people usually break. Don't let that second time break you. That third time is going to be the easiest and likely the time it works out for you because you've learned everything. You know what it feels like to fail. You know what it feels like to lose. Now that you understand that feeling and you've felt those feelings before, you know what you're walking into. Bravery becomes more easy because you're accustomed to it. You've walked into that dark room twice before. Now it's a dimly lit room. Eventually you know the way out every single time. But if you lose and you let yourself never try again, you've become a failure and you'll never be brave. You have to try, you have to fail. You have to try, you have to fail. And then enough tries will lead to wins as long as you learn and as long as you continue to be brave the way you know you can. That's pretty much it. Like what you saw, subscribe. Thanks.